And we are back with WHHI-TV, and I have Heather Rath with me. And again, we are social distancing. As you can see, she is wearing her beautiful mask. I also came in with a mask today as well, this one. And this one was actually made by a local gal, Donna Payne. And, you know, she sent these to me, and I have a bunch of them, and all different colors.
That's wonderful. And she's a writer for Pink Magazine, correct?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
So with that, tell me about your mask, because I think there's something special that's going on.
Yeah, so these masks are made by prints from Kristen Griffiths, who's with the Art League. And so what she does is she paints music. And so she has set up an account, and you can find it on our Facebook page, where you can order her prints that she has done on masks. And so I ordered 3 of them. I actually have one of them as a gift for my good friend Martin Lesh. He helped out with the COVID testing that we're going to be talking about. So anyways, I just thought that these were really cool. You have a local Hilton head artist that's doing these masks. And again, it's a great way to support local. And there's great businesses that are also doing masks. I was down at Frosty Frog the other day getting some food outside, and they had 3 different kinds of masks, and they have the ones that like pop up on your nose, so they are a little bit more of a face shield. And so anyways, there's all sorts of companies out there, local businesses that you can support by getting their masks. And it's just a little bit more fun to do this than a plain white one.
And I was reading also, make sure they're quilted. When make sure they want it to be quilted. That's where you get the best protection.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like Frosty Frogs, they had a little, like almost like the poly on it. So it's like a really good layer of protection as well.
Cool.
So anyways, yeah, there's lots of good mask stuff out there. And again, these local businesses need the support of the community, and the local artists as well. So I'm glad to see that you're doing local and I'm doing local.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. I mean, it's going to be part of our life for quite a while, to my understanding. So, and now you can see the retailers and the brands, they have matching dresses and the masks.
Absolutely.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
But I know you've been very active and really the person behind all these, the testing sites that we have here on Hilton and Island. I know it's been a lot of frustration. But you did it. Thank you so much. You did it.
And it's not just me. I mean, there was a lot of people working on it. Town of Hilton Head Emergency Management, Hilton Head Hospital, and of course, me and Tom Davis have partnered up, and we're really working hard to bring more testing sites to not only our island, but also Bluffton and Beaufort.
Right. So tell us about the experience, because I also think there's been some frustrations with people.
Sure.
So, and we're still scheduled for more.
Yes. Yeah.
Give us the details on that.
Sure. So what we did is we went ahead and we set up a testing with DHEC and the National Guard. Now, this is part of $42 million that was allocated from the state of South Carolina through their general fund, and then also $45 million that was allocated through the $1.9 billion that the state of South Carolina received through the CARES Act. So we have total around $85 million going towards testing and DHEC support for the state of South Carolina. And so what they're doing is they're setting up testing sites all over the state, all 46 counties, and of course me and Tom Davis and a number of others, like I said, worked to get those sites here. So we had one on Wednesday the 24th. We had 900 people show up, and we broke the state record for the most tests in one day, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And then we did another one the following Monday, and that one was set up through DHEC, Hilton Head Regional Medical Center, Volunteers in Medicine, and then Town Fire Rescue. And it was run by Tom Dunn, and it was run exceptionally well. And that one broke, again, the state record, 3 or 4 days later, and that was 1,522 tests. And then Tom Davis and I, our state senator, went out to Bluffton, and we did one this last Thursday where we did 1,500 tests as well. So the good news is that people are showing up, and they're showing up to get tested. And, people that are showing up are symptomatic, or they are asymptomatic but with close contact, right? And that's a big thing to talk about, is that if you're asymptomatic but you've had a close contact situation, it's important for you to get tested. So these testing events, these, as they call them, strike testing events, it's a new term that I learned.
All right.
These strike testing events really kind of are a way for a lot of people to get tested in one sitting, as opposed to going to CPEN's Urgent Care or going to Hilton Head Hospital, and they're doing 25 or 50 or whatever.
Right. I also know people have been frustrated because it's taken a while.
Yes, absolutely.
And it is what it is. I don't know what else can we do to help them understand that? Is there some way for them to see what the wait in line is?
I mean, I think that we're just getting the kinks worked out, right? We have 4 more testing events coming up in the month of July for both Bluffton, Beaufort, Burton, and also Hilton Head. The Sheriff's Department has been a huge help with us to get additional tests because, again, this is running from a state agency, so we need, the local emergency.
So when is the next test? When is the next scheduled time?
All the dates are on the DHAC website, or you can find them on my Facebook page or Tom Davis's Facebook page. But the next place that we're going is Beaufort, and then we'll be back in Bluffton, then we'll be back in Beaufort, and then we'll be back to Hilton Head.
Okay.
And it's just really important that if you do not have access to a test, this is one option. Ideally, with the money that we have from the CARES Act, we would be testing at the moment that people have symptoms. Those tests would be free. We would have very, very quick results. And then we would be doing the contact tracing and isolation. Right. But all of those things are not necessarily working at this time. We've heard some stuff from Dr. Linda Bell and about contact tracing. So, getting people tested is the first step. And so it's one that I believe in. And it's also really good to kind of bring people out of the shadows, right? That wouldn't necessarily go to an urgent care or be able to have access to that because of their documentation status.
Yeah, before we went on camera, I had a bit of an aha moment too. Somebody who I'm close to was tested positive, asymptomatic.
Yes.
I want to go over.
Yeah.
Had I not known that, I would have gone over and given that person a hug, or because you feel close, close enough that you feel that, but you can't, and that's a new. It's a new normal, I guess, if that's what we call it.
Yeah, I had several phone calls over the weekend about asymptomatic friends of mine and that tested positive, and their husbands were negative. I mean, so you have a lot of that happening in our community, and so it's important, as Carolyn was talking about. Keep your distance, like we're doing today. Wear your mask, and just be careful of who you closely associate with. But, again, you can still get takeout. You can still go to the beach. You can still go on that jog. Like, there's a lot of things that you can still do. And so I don't want to lose sight of that.
And it's really important also is to keep ourselves healthy. Get outside, exercise, take your vitamins.
Bike. Yeah.
Don't,
remember where we live.
When you're a healthy body, you can handle things, these things better. So don't forget that. Take care of ourselves and our health. So that's important. People are forgetting that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, again, just encouraging people to get out and get active and enjoy the island that we live on. I mean, we have, you and I have been talking for, I've been on the show for 6 months, and we always talk about the beauty and the wonder of where we live and how fortunate we are. And so we just don't ever want to lose sight of that.
No, we don't. So let's talk about our beaches. And our friendly guys are turtles.
Yes.
This is the season. And I just want to point out, so when you are walking the beach and you see the wood stakes and you see the orange string around it, that's a nest. And so we don't disturb those. That's, they're protected by law. But I just want people, because when the tourists come in and visit, you can see, oh, what's that? They kind of go over and investigate, so that's important for everybody to understand that. So we have, broke a record, right, for our turtle nestings?
Yeah, I mean, we just hit, 200? Nests. I mean, they are doing really well this season. And again, this is exactly what we're talking about. Get out in the mornings, go for that morning walk, watch the Turtle Patrol do their work. My girlfriend Jennifer Lance on the 5th of July organized a beach cleanup at the Tiki Hut where everybody came out and they, were socially distanced and masked, but they still were able to participate in a beach cleanup and get some fresh air and get some exercise in. Coligny is still doing their summer music series outdoor at the center stage. Jevin Daly is playing out there on Wednesday and Sunday nights. Great for kids. He has a kid-centric storytelling adventure. I mean, these are all wonderful things that are still happening in our community.
All right, we don't have much time, but but I really want to talk about is the bridge funding. We have only half a minute. So
okay.
Go.
Yeah, so a couple of days ago, the state approved $120 million for the new bridge project. And that is something that I think that all Hilton Head Island people should watch and make their voice heard. They are, in design mode, and so that is something that we will be able to weigh in on a lot more. But the money is now there, and so the design has to align with what the values of Hilton Head Island are. And so I've struggled personally with some of the design that has come out. I felt like it's too wide, too big, too fast, too everything. And so that's just something personally that I would like everybody to participate in, whether you agree with me or not.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I mean, very important information. Once again, Heather, thank you for joining me. And thank you for joining me as well. This is 843 TV, where communities come to speak. And I'll see you next time.